Okay, if I can have everyone's attention here in the Media Center, we'll get started with our post-race press conference following the Lucas Oil 150 here at Phoenix International Raceway. We welcome our third-place finisher, Brendan Gaughan, driver of the number 62 South Point Chevrolet. Brendan, heck of a race out there. Talk about your finish tonight.
Yeah, you know, we stayed at top 4 all night long. Shane Wilson did a great job. The boys did a great job on pit road. That's what I'm most impressed with. We came in on the last stop and changed 4 when everybody else changed 2 and didn't lose a position. I mean, just dang impressive what Richard Childress gives me, whether it's the trucks, whether it's the pit crew. You know, they give us great stuff. He gives me great chances every week, and I will forever be grateful for what he's done to my life. I mean, every week we're top 5, we're fast. We got a shot at the top 5 in points still. And, man, it's so much fun being around here, racing with me and Ty on the last restart. That's always the kiss of death when you're racing around with your teammate. I've always been nervous about racing with teammates because, you know, it's your teammate. You don't screw him over. You don't run him like a jerk, but you still are going for that position. I knew I was faster than him. I wanted to get there. And the restart before, I knew he was tight, so I took advantage of it on the last restart and hung it out on the outside. And, I mean, if there's anybody that can hang anything on an outside, I don't care what track it is, it's me that's going to try. And it stuck. We made it. We were able to come home third. We were catching the 19, but just not enough laps. And I'll take a third and a shot. We came in the race 22 points behind 5th, and we left the race 13. So we got a shot, and that's all you can ask for.
All right, we'll open it up for questions. We'll take our first one right here from Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Brendan, you had a ringside seat for the battle between 2 kids who were both trying to win their first race ever. What were your impressions of that, how they raced, and just what you saw?
Running third, I was hoping they were going to wreck each other. You know, I was hoping to catch a W the easy way, the old-fashioned way. You know, they both did a great job. You know, I watched that last pass when they came through the tri-oval, and the 51 just got a phenomenal turn 1 and 2. Did a great job getting through it. Ross did the best he could to hold him off, and then Ross did, you know, a great over-under move and tried to, you know, cut back underneath him, but it just wasn't enough, and the 51 definitely had everybody covered tonight. You know, congratulations that the rookies this year have been great. You know, this has been a really banner year for them. That would be our series champion that just said that. But and you know, one thing I do want to add, though, I said it down there on television, but you know, Matt Crafton giving the old guys a chance like me to think that I can still do this stuff. I'm so excited that he won this championship. If anybody did it, you know, and it wasn't at RCR, me or Ty, I could not ask for somebody that I like more to be the champion, and that's very rare because I don't like many people. But you know, Matt Crafton winning it makes me. I love Owen Kearns. Oh my God, Owen Kearns is here, ladies and gentlemen. Owen Kearns is here. I did not see Mr. Kearns. I got Mr. Kearns and Mr. Green even. Man, I got all my old homies hanging out tonight. But no, I'm excited for Matt. That's so cool. I know how hard he's worked. I know how hard I've worked, and he finally finished what I couldn't do. So love you to death, man. Congratulations.
I'm not sure I can even top that as an introduction. We are now joined by Matt Crafton, driver of the number 88 FVP Menards Toyota, who did not clinch tonight by just a sheer hair, did not clinch the championship tonight. 46 points. He's got to start at Homestead. Got to start at Homestead next week, but
do you not, Matt, do you feel like not going to Homestead?
I don't think I'm going to go to Homestead.
Take a week off for us.
I'm going to stay home.
Yeah, stay home.
There he is. Just hopefully Ty don't win.
Talk a little bit about the race out there tonight for you.
It was very interesting. On lap about 15, 20, I lost, I guarantee you, about 90% of my brakes. I mean, pedal faded so bad within 2 laps. I mean, I had good pedal to like nothing. And I would have to start pumping coming off turn 4 all the way down the front straightaway. If I didn't pump it to the last second when I started braking, the pedal would go, like I said, about 90% to the floor, and I'm like, oh my God. And we were talking about cutting a hole in the front of the nose, and I said, I'll just manage brakes. I mean, track position was way too much to there at the end. I mean, the whole race track position was everything. And then on the last hurrah, whenever the 54-17, whatever happened, and I'm following behind Brendan, and I'm like, okay, they got the track clean. All of a sudden, wham! I ran over something on the right front, and I'm like, uh-oh. I didn't say anything to the crew. I'm going, oh, man, is that going to cut her right front down? I'm not going to say anything.
Of course, I tried to hide that piece from you.
I think you did, because I was trying to follow in your tire tracks, and it didn't work too well for me.
We'll go ahead and take it for questions again for both gentlemen. We'll start in the back with Bob.
Bob Parker, Sporting News. Brendan, you kind of talked about it earlier, but kind of what makes it cool to see Crafton pretty much win this thing?
He's not as old as me, but he's one of those old guys. You know, I mean, what do you got? 250 starts now or something like that, or
A lot.
A lot. We both got a lot. I just got a lot. Losing streak right now, but you know, it's look, Matt. I was running this sport when Matt came in as a rookie, and watched him in the Southwest Tour before. You know, he never ran West to West. He did the Tour more, and it was so much fun to see Matt when he came in as a rookie. We were talking about him being so great, and he never had the chance to really move up. He never got the opportunities as like some of us did, and I just. He's slugged it out. He's sticking with the team that's in Sandusky, Ohio, that people say you couldn't do it. And anytime somebody's not in Charlotte and does it, that's near and dear to my heart from my old team. So, you know, super excited for Duke Thorson, what he's done for this sport. He's been in it since, what, 97, 98 was his first year?
96. 96 he ran a schedule.
You know, Duke Thorson's a staple in this sport. Matt Crafton is probably, you know, along with me and Ron and Todd.
Not that damn old.
I didn't say we were that old.
Like, okay.
I didn't say we've just been running it a long time.
Okay, right.
You know, we consider ourselves the older gentlemen of the sport.
There you go. I know. Damn.
You've got a baby now too, so you can start that all you want. But you know, so it's super exciting to see a guy like Matt do it. Makes me feel great because, you know, I've been up front all year long, and I know that I can still win races and do this. And that just reminds me that it doesn't matter how long and how hard it's been, we're still both good at what we do, and we can do it.
Absolutely. Just it's all about want. How bad do you want it?
Okay, we'll take a question up front from Al, then go back to Jenna.
Yeah, Matt, Al Pierce from Auto Week. Did you want to know where your other championship rivals were, or did it matter to you what Ty was doing or the other guys?
Absolutely not. I just wanted to go out there and try to win the race. I mean, like I said, this racetrack, we've been coming here since mid-'80s with my dad when I had a guardrail around it. And like I said, I wanted to win this damn race so bad. And the points, yes, winning the championship would have been cool, but being in victory lane tonight would have been even better, to be totally honest.
So you didn't know where they were? You didn't really...
Well, I knew where they were because the damn 3 truck was in front of me. And then I looked up and 31 was behind me, and I'm like, okay, we're good. But I need to get this 3 a couple spots behind me. But
Okay, we'll take our next question from Jenna.
Jennifer, AP Matt, so all you've got to do is start to clinch the championship, which seems fairly simple. But will you walk around all week superstitious or careful?
I'm going to rent a car and drive home.
Any fears of making it to the start? I mean, will you just, live life as normal as
She's
possible?
giving me some ideas.
I know, but then Ty's got to go win.
That's all right, as long as we get half the dad battle.
Exactly. Now, we just got to go, and like I said, I can sleep a lot better. I can promise you that. Like I said, for the last month and a half, I haven't slept worth a damn. I mean...
That's the baby.
Yeah. That's you honestly wake up and go, oh, wake up, how can I lose this? And all those deals throughout the night. And it's like, you know what, just do what you've been doing all year and you'll be just fine.
Okay, we'll take a question up front from Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Matt, when you had the brake problem, was it a difficult choice there to not do anything about it? Thinking maybe that it could be disastrous if you didn't, and were you conflicted on that, or basically pretty set in what you wanted to do?
What we did was when the first yellow came out and I pretty much didn't have any brakes, and we ran 1 lap, the pedal came back. And it was just weird. And the thing is, I wasn't glowing the brakes. I mean, I glowed them for just a minute, and then I started to ease up on them, and I wasn't glowing them at all. And there's got to be just something, like I said, we were just having a little bit too much friction there. Like I said, I didn't think I was using the brakes. My spotter said they were running me over, getting in the corner. So I don't know what was going on with them, totally honest. But once they cooled down and I got them back, once we had the first yellow, I'm like, okay, I just got to go for 5 laps and try to put some space in between me and the guy behind me, and then just be really, really soft, easy with the brakes. I could run, like I said, 15 to 20 laps, and at that point it was like a light switch, no brakes, and it's like, uh-oh.
Final questions? Okay, Jenna, follow up.
What do you guys think of the job done by Eric Jones and Ross Chastain?
It's terrible.
Terrible? Yeah.
They suck. Eric did a great job. I was up front all night long, and I got to see it firsthand. He just chugged away, did what he needed to do. When you're driving Kyle Busch's stuff, there's a lot of pressure on you. You know that he comes out and wins, 75% of the time right now in this series or something? It might be higher, sorry. And, to know that you have that has got to be a little nerve-wracking. But kid looked like Kyle Busch tonight. He dominated the sport, drove away from everybody. Had to make a couple good passes to do it, so he was smart. Really proud of him. And Ross was, looks like under pit stops he'd lose some spots and run his way back up there. So, I mean, passing people didn't seem to be either of their problems. They didn't rough people up doing it. They did it very clean, very, professional, and I'm proud of them both. I mean, this sport right now, the young kids, we've said it all year, this is a different crop than we've had a lot lately. These guys are...
I don't agree with that. I mean, to my opinion, I was just talking to somebody. No, I think there's a lot of great young race car drivers 3-4 years ago, but they weren't in Turner equipment. They weren't in the great equipment. And like I said, I think that some of those drivers that were 2, 3, 4 years ago didn't have the great opportunity that some of these young drivers have right now. Would you agree with that?
No, very true.
And that's what's making them shine. I'm not taking anything away from them.
What I like is the attitudes. They some of them have great equipment, but they're appreciating
respect.
And I've seen some of them that haven't over the years. But you are right that a lot of them didn't get good shots in this equipment. These kids are getting great shots and great equipment, but a lot of them deserve it.
Final question, Stan. Go ahead, right here up front.
Yeah, Stan Creekmore with RPM tonight. Brendan, you've said everything about watching those two guys in front of you. Did at any time you figure out what little teeny bit you were missing that would have given you the victory?
I could see where they were beating me, but at that point there wasn't enough we could do about it. We were just a little too tight trying to get through the center of 1 and 2 and just dead center of 3 and 4. It was just that little tightness, and we tried to adjust it earlier in the race and made it too loose and had to put it back. So we just barely missed something, and we could see it, and it wasn't much. I mean, Eric pulled away from us, but Ross I was catching. So I mean, we had a definitely a legitimate Chevrolet that could win the race, and I could see it, but just you got to come with something different to try to catch him.
Final question, Chris.
Chris Knight, CatchWest.com. Brendan, how much are you going to miss racing the trucks moving on to full-time nationwide next year? And obviously you won't be around Matt or some of the guys that you've been used to racing around.
Well, I think I'll be around Matt a little bit, maybe, possibly. But it's not that I miss the trucks. I love the Camping World Truck Series, always have. I still want to run a couple races next year, especially like Eldora. Anybody who wants to do that, I would not mind going back to Eldora. Mr. Eldris, Dylan. But, for me, it's just about equipment. And I spent a lot of years trying to slug around in mediocre equipment and trying to overachieve in it. And some days I did, and some days you cracked your eggs. Right now, I don't have to try to drive it real hard. I'm getting out of race cars looking like this, going, man, I'd get out of some race cars and finish 12th and be soaking wet, going, oh, my God, that was the most difficult night. So as long as it's with Richard Childress and his Chevrolets, and I'm sitting there with Ty Dillon as my teammate, and him and I do really well with each other in our driving styles match, I don't care if it's trucks, Nationwide, Sprint Cup, or a frickin' rowboat. If Richard Childress wants me to race it, I'll go race it for him.